do you like it? I got this idea from another fellow Metabo HPT sample program member. He has all of his stuff, like all of his power tools on a wall. That's not really practical for me because I have quite a bit more than he does, but I got at least all the impacts and drills and the heat gun up here, as well as the 2000 lumen light. I don't know if I want to keep this here, but it fits. So I'm kind of running out of room on the tool shelves to put new stuff, and there's going to be more on the way. I know. So yeah, well, first thing we're going to do today, I want to put the door back up. It's been 2 days. I kind of glued this up, clamped it up, and kind of forgot about it. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm actually going to use the DEX because so far the person that's used this tool the most is actually Fluff, and it's my impact. I started out with the black one, DBFL2, this one. They don't make this one anymore. So this one's been used a lot. And this one's kind of my baby, the triple hammer. So this one gets used quite frequently as well. But I haven't gotten to use the DEX. So I'm going to throw a 2 amp hour on it. Now this Crescent 30-piece kit here has a fancy magnetic Phillips that has a sliding collar. Now what this does, I really hope these screws are steel or else this is going to look dumb. I don't know if you saw that, this collar will come out and hold the screw perpendicular, so you don't have to hold it, you can just do that. Which is good because I have to hold the door in place while I do this, so let's go ahead and remove these. The glue should long be dry by now. Hang these up, get back where they belong. I'll put the door back. Should be less floppy now. So if you're wondering what these are, the specific model of Vessi clamp, I figured out where the model number is on these. It's laser etched on the steel bar. This is one of the ones Home Depot carries all the time. GSCC 3.506. This is a 1,100 pound rated 6-inch F-clamp. And they get used all the time. I do not have enough of these. In order to get this all in one shot, or at least most of it in one shot, I had to go to 1080p and engage the wide angle lens. Hopefully y'all don't mind. So, go ahead and grab the door. That's the really handy thing about that bit. It'll hold the screw while it's locked on your belt or whatever. See if that works. A door with 3 hinges, what do you know? Cool. This whole door frame is installed with drywall screws anyway, so one of these 3 did not grab down here, so I'm just going to grab this so it'll grab the stud behind it. Once again, don't have to hold it. Bam. Cool beans. Alright, let's get on to what we're actually doing. So today we're going to kick off the whole firewood sales thing. Fluff and I have been doing firewood for a little bit now. cutting it and chopping it up and all that. I need needle nose. But I haven't made an effort to sell it because one, I didn't have a moisture meter. I have that now. And two, I didn't have the thing built to properly size the bundles. And three, I don't have a Firewood's advertising sign underneath my Dogs on Woodworks one out by the road. So I got to make that. I got to bundle everything, and then I got to make a post, basically. But I realized the other day I don't actually need this power strip here anymore because the whole reason this used to be here is because the combination sander was over here along with this miter saw. This miter saw will reach the outlet behind it, but the combination sander wouldn't. So that's why this was here. So I'm going to take this power strip and move it to be the laser engraver power strip with a computer and TV and laser engraver. Those are all hooked up too. I love this bit. Who knows? Now the staples that hold this are Arrow Fastener T59s, who recently followed me on Instagram. Thank you, Arrow. The main use for, let me go grab it. This staple gun, this Arrow T59, the main use for me in my shop is semi-permanent securing of power cords and extension cords and things like that up on walls so they don't just sit down on the workbench where they can get crushed or damaged or whatever. So that's mainly what I use it for. But what it's meant to be used for is RG6 and coax. So this one's a little damaged because I just ripped it out of the wall, but it is an insulated staple, and whatever you're securing rides up here in this groove here and is not contacted by any metal. So what we've been using it for in the trailer is securing 14.2, which is just barely narrow enough to fit inside these wire guides. Now, this is not meant for house wiring, but it is an insulated staple and it does fit the wire that we're using, so that's what we're using it for. I'm going to be getting an Arrow T72 as well. That's meant for bigger coax, so 12.2, 14.3, 12.3, all the bigger stuff. There is going to be some 10 and maybe even some 8 AWG in the house because there's some 220 stuff that we have to wire. These I got from Crescent sample review program. Z6546CG. These are multi-purpose 6-inch needle nose pliers. They've got wire cutters on them. They've got a nail groove so you can hold a nail while you tap it in so you don't hit your fingers. It's got this part here for turning bolts, stuff like that, and then another white, slightly narrower set of jaws there. These things are pretty darn handy. I love these. I need a vacuum back here. I know some people might freak out, you know, Derek, it's a big expensive miter saw. Why are you not putting it on a power strip? Yes, I agree with you. It is very expensive, but anytime we have thunderstorms roll through and I'm worried we might get a ground strike and it might knock some things out, I come out here and I unplug everything, even the stuff that's on the surge protector. So now what that won't protect against is if some drunk driver hits a telephone pole, which has happened before, like, and I was back in middle school when that happened. Should I tell that story? Basically what happened, we ordered pizza, we were in middle school. Guy delivered our pizza, it seemed a little off, and we paid him and everything. He went down the driveway, started eating, and all of a sudden power goes out. It turns out the same delivery driver, I don't know why, if he was on something or just wasn't paying attention. At the end of our road, there's a T intersection, and there's just a ditch with a power pole in it. He just kept going. He didn't stop for the T intersection, just went right over the ditch and hit the telephone pole. I hope he's okay. I never learned if he was okay or not, but I think I am definitely going to grab T59 for that. So this is mainly what I use this for, is for situations like this where we've got a power cable that's sticking out over the workbench. Just shove it between the groove, and bam, that one didn't want to go in. That one didn't either. There we go. The plywood is extremely hard, and sometimes it just doesn't go in. Laser engraver time. I think at this point in the video we'll just kind of go to a little montage kind of deal. I don't want to talk through the entire video, that'd be kind of lame. It's back. Alright, so I got it to work. Why is it? Oh. I turned off bidirectional. There we go. Turn you guys on time lapse. Okay, so settings are a bit iffy here. I'll grab it tight so I kind of know where it's supposed to be. Gonna over engrave the crap out of it, but yeah, because I finally found my glasses which block out the harmful part of the light that this emits, and I was seeing fire, so we're going to run it a second time with some faster settings. get started on his first real project. This is going to be two-sided, so I'm going to have to flip it going one way and flip it going the other way. We shall see. Alright, so this is how one side came out yesterday. I decided to do something different than I was originally planning because the original plan didn't work. Normally what I would do is I would engrave it and then wash all the soot away. And that's how that turned out on the other side. So, what I did this time is I left the soot on, made sure not to touch it, and I applied just a rattle can clear coat over it. This stuff, Rust-Oleum 2X clear. Would have preferred a satin, but that's what I had. So now I can touch it all I want. I can rain on it. It won't streak down, hopefully. So the soot acts like a nice black ink. So I'll re-engrave the backside, spray it. It'll kind of have a double image probably because I've already taken it out and there wasn't anything solid that this lines up with, so yeah, I'll just have to live with it being kind of like a double image, but that's okay. It's meant to be a sign, not a work of art. So I'll go ahead and pop this in the engraver. Alright, I've got it lined up as best I can. It took me forever to find these glasses. These block out the dangerous part of the light spectrum that emits. They look kind of goofy, but they do work. So I'm just going to do one pass, 3,000 millimeters per minute, 80% power. Go ahead and should be relatively lined up. Yeah. I also set the line interval pretty coarse on this because it doesn't need to be super focused. This is my old version of Lightburn. Lightburn is a laser engraving software, but something that's pretty awesome is it can tell you your time estimate. Now when I first did this, it took something like 3 hours, and then the second time was something like 2.5 because I played with some settings. This version of Lightburn is 0.9.16, I think 1.3 or something is out right now. So it's definitely not lined up. Oh, whatever. Something is definitely not lined up here. I think I accidentally flipped. Yeah, I definitely did that. Let's try it now. There we go. Alright. Yeah, I flipped the autosave by accident. Won't be exactly lined up and it'll probably look pretty jank, but if it looks that bad, I'll just put a coat of white on the backside and yeah. Alright, while I let that run, I'm gonna go get the wood to make the stand.